You're soft, too scared to bleed, too scared to fight, too scared to even stand the hell up. Look at your reflection. That's your enemy, not the world, not your past, not your failures. It's you. That weak, trembling thing staring back, drowning in regrets and what-ifs. I'll continue with long, aggressive, and motivational paragraphs, keeping Aatrox's harsh and blaming tone intact. Here's the extended continuation of Time for War. Pathetic. That's all you are. A collection of wasted potential wrapped in skin, too fragile to hold even an ounce of courage. You sit there like life owes you something, like the universe should bend to your miserable cries. You think pain makes you special. You think suffering makes you unique. Number. It makes you just another face in the crowd, drowning with the rest of the weak, gasping for air in a world that doesn't give a damn whether you breathe or choke. Look at yourself. When did you become this fragile little thing? Afraid to fight, afraid to bleed, afraid to exist without hiding behind excuses. You talk about being broken like it's some badge of honor. Oh, I'm hurt, I'm scarred, I'm damaged. So what? Everyone's scarred. Everyone's bleeding. The difference is, some people wear their scars like armor, and others, like you, wear them like chains. You think your pain is special. It's not. It's common. It's ordinary. The only thing that's extraordinary about it is how you've let it define you, control you, crush you. But you know what's worse than your weakness? Your cowardice. You're afraid, not of failure, but of effort. Afraid of what it takes to rise. Because rising means fighting. It means getting up when every part of you screams to stay down. And you can't handle that. You'd rather sit in the dirt, wallow in your self-pity, and blame the world for the war you refuse to fight. You're not a victim. You're just lazy. You've built a shrine to your failures and pray to them like they're gods. But they're not gods. They're your own damn reflection. You've got this fantasy in your head, don't you? That one day somehow life's going to get better. That if you just sit still long enough, the universe will feel sorry for you and hand you a purpose on a silver platter. Newsflash. Coward. It won't. The universe doesn't care. It never did. Life isn't fair. It's not supposed to be. Fairness is a story weak people tell themselves to feel better about being weak. You want to know the truth? You're not special. You're not destined. You're not chosen. You're just another name in the dirt. And the only thing that's going to carve your name in stone is the war you choose to fight. But here you are, fighting nothing, hiding, waiting, wasting. You've been given time, breath, a beating heart, and you've done nothing with it. Nothing. Because you're afraid. Afraid of failing, afraid of succeeding, afraid of everything in between. You've let fear become your master, and you've bowed to it like the spineless coward you are. But here's the thing about fear. It's a liar. It whispers that you can't, that you're not enough, that you're broken beyond repair. And you believed it. You swallowed every word. But fear isn't real. It's just a shadow and you've been running from it like it's a monster. But the real monster isn't fear. It's you. You're the one who gave up. You're the one who surrendered. Not because you couldn't fight, but because you didn't want to. 'Cause it's easier to quit. Easier to say, I can't, than to stand up and prove you can. Do you know what strength really is? It's not muscles. It's not pride. It's not even victory. Strength is getting up when you've got nothing left. It's fighting when you're already broken. It's bleeding, screaming, and still choosing to take another step. Not because you're fearless, but because you're terrified and you move anyway. But you don't move. You sit. You rot. You pretend like the world owes you a second chance when you've never even tried to earn the first one. You think I'm being harsh. Good. I'm not here to comfort you. Comfort is what got you here. Comfort is what's killing you. I'm here to drag you through the dirt, to rip apart every lie you've wrapped yourself in, to show you that the only thing standing between you and the life you want is you. Not your past, not your pain. You. And the worst part, you've known it all along. You've just been too damn scared to admit it. You don't need motivation. You need a wake-up call. Life is war. Every day you wake up is a battle. And you've been losing. Not because the enemy's stronger, but because you refuse to fight. You've surrendered without even trying. And that's the greatest failure of all. Not that you fell, but that you never got up. But here's the thing. War isn't over. Not yet. You can still fight. You can still rise. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to hurt. It's going to break you. And you're going to wish you stayed down. But if you push through that, if you bleed, suffer, and keep going, you'll become something else. Something unstoppable. Because real strength isn't about never falling. It's about rising every damn time you do. Are you going to sit there, drowning in your excuses? Or are you going to stand up, face the war, and fight like hell? Because no one's coming to save you. It's time to save yourself. It's time for war. You sit there, drenched in self-pity, waiting for life to hand you something. What exactly? Redemption? Forgiveness? A second chance? You fool! Life doesn't hand out second chances. It doesn't even hand out first ones. You either take what you want, or you rot with the rest of the spineless masses, choking on their what-ifs and could-have-beens. You think the world gives a damn about your pain. You think anyone's going to look at you and say, "Oh, poor thing. They've suffered enough." Number. They'll step over your broken body without a second thought. Because that's what happens to the weak. That's what happens to those who wait instead of fight. You want to cry about your past, your failures, your heartbreaks? Go ahead. Drown in it. But don't you dare expect it to change anything. Your tears don't build empires. Your sob stories won't carve your name into history. The universe doesn't care how hard you've had it. It only respects one thing: power. And power doesn't come from whining. It comes from war. From waking up every day, knowing the world's trying to crush you, and daring it to try. It comes from dragging yourself out of the dirt, even when every bone in your body screams to stay down. But you don't know anything about that, do you? Number. You're too busy holding funerals for dreams you buried alive. You killed them with doubt, with fear, with laziness. You smothered them under the weight of your excuses. It's too hard. I'm too tired. I'm not good enough. Pathetic. You know what's hard? Fighting for something when there's no guarantee you'll win. You know what's exhausting? Waking up every day to the same failures, staring you in the face, and deciding to fight anyway. But you wouldn't know, because you've never done it. You've never bled for anything, never suffered with purpose. You've just existed, breathing, eating, complaining like that's enough. You talk about being lost like it's some tragic story. You're not lost. You're hiding from the truth that you've always been afraid to face. That the only one who's ever held you back is you. Not your past. Not the people who hurt you. Not the failures that scarred you. Just you. And that's the part you can't stand. Because if it's your fault, then it's your responsibility. And responsibility is heavy, isn't it? It's easier to blame the world, to point fingers at everything and everyone, just so you don't have to look in the mirror and face the real enemy. But here's the brutal truth. You can lie to everyone else, but you can't lie to yourself. Not when the lights go out. Not when it's just you and the silence. That's when it creeps in. The voice you try to drown out. The one that whispers, "You could have been more." That voice isn't your enemy. It's your last chance. The last spark of truth buried under all your excuses. And you've spent your whole life trying to silence it, haven't you? Because deep down, you know it's right. You could have been more. You should have been more. But you weren't. Because you quit. So here's your reality. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to fix you. If you want to be saved, you'll have to crawl through the fire yourself. If you want to heal, you'll have to rip the bandages off and face the wounds you've been too afraid to look at. It's going to hurt. It's going to break you. But breaking isn't the end. It's the beginning. Because only when you're broken do you see what you're really made of. Not the lies you tell yourself. Not the mask you wear for the world. Just raw, ugly, undeniable truth. And here's the truth. You're still breathing, which means you're not done. Not yet. You've got war left in you, whether you like it or not. And you've got two choices. Stay here, rotting in your regrets, or stand the hell up and fight. Fight for every inch. Fight for every breath. Fight like your life depends on it, because it does. No more excuses. No more waiting. No more hiding. It's time to stop being a victim and start being a warrior. You think warriors are fearless? They're not. They're just people who decided that fear wasn't going to be the thing that defined them. They feel the fear, the doubt, the pain, and they fight anyway. That's what makes them unstoppable. Not their strength, not their skill, their refusal to quit. And that's what you need to become. Someone who refuses to quit. Someone who looks life in the eye, no matter how bloody and broken they are, and says, "Is that all you've got? You've wasted enough time mourning the life you could have had. It's time to build the life you deserve. Brick by brick, scar by scar. You're not going to feel ready. You're not going to feel strong. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that you start. Now, not tomorrow. Not next week. Now, because every second you waste is another second you'll never get back. And time is the only enemy you can't defeat. but you can outrun it if you start running now. So get up, get angry, get ruthless. The world tried to break you. Good, let it. Because broken things can't be bent anymore. They can only be rebuilt, stronger, sharper, unrecognizable from what they were before. Be unrecognizable. Be something so fierce, so relentless, that the world regrets ever trying to crush you. It's time to stop surviving and start conquering. No more apologies. No more hesitation. No more weakness. It's time for war. You think you've hit rock bottom? You think you've tasted real despair? Number. You've been living in a padded cell of your own comfort, wrapped in the luxury of excuses and soft lies. Real despair isn't crying into your pillow at night. Real despair is standing face to face with everything you could have been and realizing you'll never meet that version of yourself because you were too damn afraid to try. That's the kind of pain that carves itself into your bones. The kind that echoes louder than your heartbeat. But here you are, pretending you're broken beyond repair, like that's some sort of achievement. You're not broken. You're just lazy. You're not shattered. You're scared. And fear's a disease you've let rot your mind. You talk about being lost like the map was stolen from you. No, you burned it. You set it on fire the moment life demanded more from you than you were willing to give. You didn't get lost. You walked away. You chose the easy path, the one lined with self-pity, blame, and justifications. You didn't fall into this hole. You dug it. Every excuse was another shovel full of dirt, and now you're buried alive under the weight of your own damn choices. And you sit there, suffocating, waiting for someone to pull you out. But no one's coming. No hero, no savior. Just you, your regrets, and the dirt you piled over your own head. And here's the part that'll sting the most. You like it there. You like being the victim. It's easier. Being broken means you don't have to try. It gives you an identity without effort. Oh, I'm the one who got hurt. I'm the one who failed. You wear your wounds like they're armor, but they're just chains. You're not protecting yourself. You're imprisoning yourself. Because as long as you're the victim, you're not responsible. And that's what you're really afraid of, isn't it? Responsibility. Because responsibility means it's all on you. No one to blame. No one to save you. Just you, standing in the wreckage of your own choices. But Here's the ugly truth you can't outrun. No one owes you anything. Not respect, not success, not even love. You want it? Earn it, bleed for it, fight for it. You think the world's going to hand you a crown because you've suffered? Number. The world doesn't give crowns. It gives scars. And if you want to wear one, you'll have to carve it into your own damn flesh. You'll have to fight tooth and nail, claw your way through the dirt, and stand over the ruins of who you used to be. You think I'm being harsh? This isn't harsh. This is truth. Unfiltered, undiluted, unforgiving. Life is war, and you've been playing house, dressing your wounds like they're decorations, hoping someone will notice and feel sorry for you. But pity is worthless. Sympathy doesn't build legacies. No one remembers the ones who gave up. No songs are sung for the cowards who never fought. History forgets the weak because they never mattered enough to be remembered. You've been living like you've got forever, like time is some endless currency you can spend carelessly. But time is the most ruthless enemy you'll ever face. It doesn't stop. It doesn't care. It doesn't forgive. Every second you waste is gone, buried in a grave you'll never dig up. And one day, you'll wake up, old and hollow, staring into the mirror at a stranger, a ghost of what could have been. And you'll realize you traded your potential for comfort, your strength for safety. But by then, it'll be too late. All you'll have left is the bitter taste of regret, the echo of battles you never fought, victories you never claimed. But you're not there yet. Not completely. There's still time. Not much, but enough. Enough to rise. Enough to fight. Enough to carve your name into the bones of the earth so deep that time itself can't erase it. But it won't be easy. It'll be the hardest thing you've ever done. Because it's not just about fighting the world. It's about fighting yourself. The weak parts. The scared parts. The parts that whisper, "You're not good enough." You have to kill those voices. Not silence them. Kill them. Rip them out of your mind like weeds, choking the roots of who you're meant to be. You think I'm here to inspire you. Number inspiration is for the fragile, for people who need pretty words to feel alive. I'm here to rip you apart, to burn you down to the ashes, so you can see what's left when everything soft and weak is gone. Because that's where your real strength is, buried under the lies, the fear, the excuses. You've been standing in your own way for so long, You've forgotten what it feels like to move. But it's time. Time to break. Time to bleed. Time to fight. And don't you dare wait for motivation. Motivation is a myth. It's fleeting, temporary, a spark that dies the moment things get hard. What you need isn't motivation, it's discipline, it's rage. It's the cold, hard decision to get up even when every part of you wants to stay down. It's looking at your failures, your fears, your scars, and saying, you're not enough to stop me. You want to live, really live, then suffer. Suffer on purpose, not the passive kind you've been drowning in, but the kind you choose. The kind that forges you into something unbreakable. Embrace the pain, the struggle, the loneliness. Let it shape you, sharpen you, until you're so ruthless, so relentless, that nothing, not failure, not heartbreak, not even death, can touch you. It's not about being the best. It's about being unstoppable. About becoming a force so fierce that the world bends around you, not the other way around. You're not here to survive. You're here to conquer, to destroy the old version of yourself and build something new from the wreckage. So, what's it going to be? More excuses? More waiting? Or are you finally going to stand the hell up, look your life in the face, and declare war? Because that's what this is. Not a battle. A war. A war against every lie you've believed, every fear you've fed, every weakness you've nurtured. It's time for war. And this time, you don't stop until there's nothing left to fear, nothing left to lose, nothing left but victory. You cry about being broken, about life being unfair. But fairness is a fairy tale for the weak. Life isn't fair. It was never meant to be. The world doesn't owe you justice. It owes you nothing. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll stop waiting for life to hand you what you're too afraid to take. You want respect? Earn it. You want power? Fight for it. You want peace? Win your war first. Because peace without victory is just surrender in disguise. Look around you. What do you see? A life built on fear, on hesitation, on the fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, things will get better if you wait long enough. But hope without action is just a slow death. You've been waiting for a sign, for some magical moment when everything clicks, when you finally feel ready. Newsflash, that moment doesn't exist. Readiness is a myth. No one's ever ready to bleed. No one's ever ready to face the darkness. You do it because there's no other choice. Because standing still is a fate worse than death. You've been lied to, told that strength is about being fearless. It's not. Strength is about being terrified and doing it anyway. It's about staring into the abyss and stepping forward, even when your legs shake, even when your heart screams to turn back. Fear is natural. Cowardice is a choice. And you've been making that choice every damn day. Every time you let fear decide your path. Every time you listened to the voice in your head that whispered, "You're not enough." Well, here's the truth. You're not. Not yet. But you could be. If you stop running. If you stop hiding. If you stop pretending that comfort is anything but a slow rot, eating away at your soul. You want to know what hell is? It's not fire and brimstone. It's waking up one day and realizing you wasted your life. That you had a chance to be something more, to do something great. And you let it slip through your fingers because you were too busy being afraid, being lazy, being small. That's the real hell. The what-ifs, the could-have-beens, the ghosts of the person you were supposed to become. But you're not dead yet. There's still time to change. Not much, but enough. Enough to fight. Enough to bleed. Enough to become something unrecognizable to the version of you that's been hiding all these years. But it won't happen if you keep waiting for permission, for motivation, for someone to tell you it's okay. It's not okay. It's never been okay. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll stop being a victim and start being a warrior. Warriors aren't born. They're made, forged in fire, in failure, in the kind of pain that strips you down to nothing. And that's where you need to go, to nothing. You need to tear yourself apart, piece by piece, till all that's left is the raw, unfiltered truth of who you really are. Not who you pretend to be, not who you wish you were, but who you are when there's nothing left to hide behind. You think you've suffered. You've only tasted the surface. Real suffering isn't just losing. It's losing and standing back up when everything inside you begs to stay down. It's failing over and over and refusing to quit because you've decided that your purpose is worth more than your pride. It's walking alone, bleeding, broken, and still moving forward because stopping means dying. But here's the thing about suffering. It's not the enemy. It's the test. The fire that burns away the weakness, the doubt, the fear. You don't grow despite the pain. You grow because of it. Every scar, every bruise, every broken piece. It's all proof that you fought, that you didn't give up, that you chose war over surrender. And if you're going to survive, no, if you're going to live, you need to stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances and start seeing yourself as the weapon forged by them. Life didn't break you, it sharpened you. Every betrayal, every failure, every moment of doubt, it wasn't there to destroy you. It was there to prepare you for this, for now. So what are you going to do? Keep crying about the past? Keep waiting for someone to fix you? Or are you going to stand up, face the wreckage, and say, this is where I rebuild. This is where I rise. Because no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to make it easier. It's you. Just you. And that's all you need. You're not weak because you've been hurt. You're weak because you let that hurt define you. But it doesn't have to. You can be more. You can be ruthless, relentless, unstoppable. But only if you choose to be. Only if you stop waiting for the right moment, the right feeling, the right anything. The right moment is now. The right feeling is rage. The right choice is war. So pick up your broken pieces, sharpen them into blades, and fight. Fight like your life depends on it. Because it does. Fight like the person you were meant to be is trapped inside you, screaming to be set free. It's time for war. And this time, you don't stop until there's nothing left of the person who thought they couldn't win.